What's up, tubers? Welcome back to the channel. Gonna do a side-by-side comparison of these three kits. Not a super in-depth detail, just sort of an overview glance. This was the first kit bash that I ever did out of this. It's a great kit. I remember it was really clean. This one, it's a recent repop, and it's not so much. And this Roel also, they're all repops, but wow, they all have their issues, and you know, this is probably the cleanest of them all. So it's got some cool parts, and as well as this one, but it also is lacking some details. So first off, you know, the scale. Obviously, this one's going to be different because it's 1/24th. There's these two, the 1/25ths, are very similar. You know, if you wanted to do some kit bashing or modifying or changing, you know, they're very similar in size overall. Whereas this one is much bigger, and not only that, it's a funny car. So you know, back then the floppers, they called them, the funny cars, it was basically a big chunk of fiberglass. But this one has door panels in it and a hood panel that whatever gray areas. So you know, just kind of go through them real quick. Not going to spend a whole lot of time doing this. Look at the tires and the engines and anything else that kind of jumped out at me when I was digging through them. The first thing that popped out was this one. It has these split rubber. Oh boy. Oh joy. Charlie Wade. And then this guy, this whole guy. The wheel options, it's got some stock rims. Those look good, steel or painted or body colored, and these are kind of unfortunate. But the motor part of it, we'll talk briefly about that. And then this little guy over here, got all kinds of stuff. I haven't even opened up the bags, and I don't really intend to. It also has some nice stock rims, but they just look so much better. I don't know. I can see it. I can see a little bit more depth in the AMT version. So, what else was in here? This has, the details on the engine compartment and all kinds of the underside, the carriage, and the steering, suspension. Oh, really, really involved. I remember that was one of the things that I didn't do. It was too much for me for a beginner. It really was. It was too much. So tires. Just briefly on the engine, it's got some really cool details on the heads. I mean, look at that. You can see little lifters. This one I didn't put in. I used it somewhere else for a diorama display, just because it's got, you can see there's holes where the cylinders would be. I took one of them and drilled it out so it's hollowed. Pretty neat. It's got some really good details throughout all of it. A friend of mine just finished a build of one of these, and it's super clean. So I would highly recommend getting one if you can. Of the three, I would choose that one if I had to choose just one. So I'm going to keep this stuff sort of organized. The tires for the AMT, you know, they're okay. They're not anything special, but it's got a Goodyear Tampa on there, stamped. Those are clean. Whereas the MPC has, I gotta get out of there so you can see it a little better. Or both. That looks almost identical to the other one. Does it not? Okay. Cross-pollination. But the slicks, the race tires, wow, these are actually good. They've got nice grooves in them, 2 grooves, and then the text on either side is very prominent. Really easy to print or paint, excuse me. Mickey Thompson, Poly MTs. So that's a really cool tire. I mean, that's worth it alone for that kid, even if it is just an MPC. Some can be good, some cannot. More on that in a minute of the extras. The extra stuff, one thing it comes with is figurine. Those bell bottoms. Wow. Yay, 70s. 1976. Got a little trophy. But the engine in this one, actually, the MPC kit has 2 complete engines. You got 2 complete builds, engine and transmission. So that's pretty cool. I don't remember exactly which ones these are, but you know, you Mopards will appreciate that. You got a big one and a bigger one. And then, you know, one of them, there's the big, where is it? I'll show you that. Was it chrome or no? No, whatever. Somewhere there's a big high-rise tunnel ramp with these 2 carbs. It's got 2 carburetors, a big giant, you know, wab, 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 wab. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Whereas the Cop Out has the big 426 with the zoomies on it. That's also pretty cool. Those, you don't see those often. That's pretty neat. The split tires, not real stoked on that. I mean, it's a neat tire. It's got an okay logo, but it's got a stretched look, you know, for when they're pre-launch. They balloon up when they get all hot. But, you know, whatever. It can be fixed. So, that and the, you know, the bodies themselves, I would have to go with this one. You know, if I had to choose one, only one, I'd say this one. Doesn't have the greatest motor option. It does. You know, it's got the 340, but if you want a sick hot rod, that one. Or if you want parts donors or whatever, I don't know. Why do I have 3? Well, long story. I made this for one of my first builds that I did. And I used to have one of these, and I regret not building it like the one I had. It was so stock, and it actually had slant 6 in it, which I happen to have. Not only do I have the slant 6, but I also have some hot rod extra components. I've got the big manifold, big carburetor. So that opens up all kinds of options for these 3. What will I do with them all? I don't know. Something that they'll be built and showed on the channel. Showed it in. Just wanted to share that with you. What they look like inside, all 3 of them, if you were going to make a choice to get one. Again, I would say this is the cleaner of the 3. Absolutely the cleaner, tighter build, more details. This one has probably the cooler of the hot rod stuff over this. I mean, yes, this does have some cool zoomies in the, you know, the big 426, but this has a little bit more street rod cred to it. So whatever, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to please leave me a comment, educate me on anything that I made a mistake on. I am not a Mopar expert at all. I do like them, but I'm not a Mopard. I say that jokingly. I don't mean to offend anybody. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.